everybody, and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. It is time for Bazaar Day once again. It's going to be the third Bazaar of the season. I did most of my organizing last night. If you look at my inventory, it's a little bit of deja vu, I think, because it's all just very similar stuff to what I had to sell last week. I'm gonna actually put a couple of things away into my inventory here just to sort of make a little bit of space in case I want to pick anything up along the way. I can put all my butterflies away because I know that I'm keeping those and not selling them, for example. So I've got plenty of radishes yet again. And then a couple of other just random miscellaneous things to kind of throw into the mix. A few bugs that are worth some cash, some coins. Just a few things for the sake of variety. And I don't normally water before we head out. But we're gonna water today because we are going to be finally getting some tool upgrades. And we're gonna be doing those after the bazaar. So I'd like to sort of just get my watering in. Plus, I've got time to kill before the bazaar anyways. So today we're just going to take the time to do this. And I'm not gonna water twice like I normally do. I think there's time at the end of the day to water twice if you really want to before you do the upgrade, but I'm gonna sacrifice that little bit of extra growth time and try and get my stuff upgraded as soon as I can. Because I just would really like to not have to water everything one square at a time. I think it just feels like the upgrade is long overdue because I have been so incredibly focused on farm work. But I do have to say that being able to get your first tool upgrade a season and a half into the game is not too bad. Sometimes tool upgrades take a super long time. But I think it's also just because you can water twice a day and you just end up doing a lot of crop work, or at least I do. With the absence of mining and whatnot, you just need to find the most consistent way to make money, and I think crop care is definitely the best when it comes to that. So I'm gonna be running out of time here just because this does take quite a while. So what I'll do is I will water kind of right up close to 10 o'clock. And then if there's any land left that I haven't watered, I'll do it when I get back. So I've got to water the last, let's say, 4 rows. But I really should get my butt on over to the bazaar. I'm probably gonna hop into the bathtub first, just to recover some of my stamina. I did leave a little bit of room in my bag to pick up stuff along the way, but I probably will just take the most direct route there at this point. Sometimes I feel like it's not a bad idea to arrive a little bit late. And that's another thing that I guess I could have done to give myself some more selling options, was to make lumber and material stone. but I was hyper-focused on my plants this morning, and I didn't think about it. I would usually do that stuff the night before, but it must have slipped my mind. And you can see at the bottom of the screen that I already have quite a bit of money going into this bazaar, so I'm certainly not hurting for cash, and I've had some very good luck making money this month and saving up. Ooh, wow, okay, we are later than I thought. Well, let's see how we do, even with a late start. I'm just gonna go right for it and put out all my radishes and see if we can get people interested. Since I have such a large number of them to sell, if I can get some of them gone with this big crowd, that would be fantastic. We're already off and running with pretty good results here. I love it when you just have that huge burst of a big crowd to come and buy your stuff. It's just so helpful. But you can see people aren't interested in my radishes. Come on, don't you want radishes? They're so tasty. Kind of. They're one of those vegetables that I'm not quite sure how to feel about it. Like, they're okay, but they kind of have limited uses, and it's not like they're tasty, really. I don't really know how to describe it. I'll eat them, but they're certainly not my first choice of what I would choose if I was picking vegetables for myself. So we've been at this about an hour and we've already made 20 grand. And apparently we're a magnet for lost children as well. But that bodes well. That means that people think we're trustworthy. Maybe we just have a friendly looking face and the kids will come and try and get help from us. Come on, people. My radish strategy is actually working out fairly well. Usually I try to diversify a little bit, but we are doing pretty well. And I didn't really have a chance to even put new stuff out because the stream of customers has been so consistent. But now's probably the time to put stuff out. And it's actually neat now that I've gone into the menu, because despite the fact that it's showcasing 3 spots worth of radishes, I must have sold enough and it's now condensed it into 2 piles. I guess it makes sense that it's not just going to condense down while the items are on display until you go into the menu. It'd be weird just to like look and watch one stack turn into 2 suddenly, because you would think you had sold the entire stack. Should really fill that 3rd slot, but I've got a lot of people here, so we'll get through them and their sales first. Wow, okay, we're down to 1 stack of radishes. We still have 80 of them to sell, but I'm optimistic. I think we can do it. But even if we don't, even if we still have some radishes left over, they should still stay fairly fresh. And I should be able to keep them and sell them at the next bazaar if that's the case. And we've had a really nice, steady stream of customers coming to talk to us and chat with us, which is also excellent, because that means that we might get the customer service award. And I'm feeling very generous, Dirk. I'll give you a discount. I do that a lot for you, I think. It's nice that Dirk and Antoinette have stopped by, because they either buy stuff or ask us questions or a little bit of both. Could you give me this egg? You can actually just straight up say absolutely not, and in this case, being straightforward and having some boundaries is actually a good thing, and that's the right answer. That's one of those ones that kind of trips you up, and that's why it's kind of hard to know the right answer, because sometimes the right answer isn't what you would expect it to be. $46,000, so we are in the sales goal right now. I think we can probably surpass it very, very soon. And we're doing pretty well. We still have quite a few things to sell. It doesn't look like being a little bit late has really set us back at all. I do have plans to buy some things at today's bazaar, but I already kind of had the money to buy them when I came in. So this is going to be another day where I'm going to be kind of saving a lot of what I have in my wallet. Yeah, wow, lots and lots of people chatting today. Definitely gonna get the customer service award, I think, with the amount of people that have stopped by. I've also got a beetle worth $200, so I'm definitely gonna put that out. We've also surpassed the sales goal, so hopefully that means that we are going to... No, you can't have my beetle. Go get some money from your mom, kid. Ooh. I actually don't know the right answer, because sometimes, Antoinette, you don't really know if what you've said is the right thing. But honestly, at this point, I'm willing to just chance letting her have it and seeing what she says. Okay, whew, that was the right answer. Good. I got interrupted mid-thought. I was basically going to say I think that we'll be able to reel in another double win with best sales and best customer service. Alright, so let's keep it going here. I am starting to run out of items at this point. If we can just sell more of those radishes, that would be absolutely perfect. And then anything else that people buy from me is sort of just gravy. Alright. Man, there are a lot of people coming to the bazaar today asking for free stuff, saying that they don't have enough money. I know I've discussed this in a past video, but why would you go shopping somewhere and know that you don't have the money, or Why would you look at something way out of your budget? You know, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to other people, but... at this point, I suppose I'm just gonna leave my radishes out and hope for the best. Because I don't really have anything else to sell. I suppose I could sell flowers because I don't really use them for a lot. Except for gifts. But I'm running out of time here. I've only got about an hour and a half left, so... And this guy here, I'm pretty sure you have to ask him to pay for the items to get good reputation, but I'm gonna straight up tell him no. Oh, never mind. That guy takes no for an answer. There's one question where if you tell the guy no, he gets angry and then also takes your item, which I think is insane. That people can just steal from you and there's nothing you can do about it. But it is hard sometimes to multitask and keep up with the volume of questions that I'm getting today. It is amazing how differently each bazaar can be sometimes. Where every once in a while you'll get a bazaar that's just crickets. I mean, there's just nothing going on. And then days like today, I have been busy the entire time. And I just sold my last radish. We've got an hour left to go shopping at the bazaar. Everything is good in my world. That was a fantastic bazaar. I'm very, very happy. We're just under 100k. We've got lots and lots of money in our wallet. So let's quickly go around and buy a few things. First things first, Lloyd, you're finally gonna get some business from us. Today is the day that we buy a piece of mithril and a piece of orichalcum to do some upgrades. Now, luckily, Lloyd will sell these all year round. They're not seasonal. And unfortunately, in order to do your tool upgrades, you're kind of forced to buy these from Lloyd. You can get a piece of mithril or a piece of orichalcum as a prize at certain festivals, but for the most part, we are stuck buying these from him. But fortunately, his prices never change. He doesn't gouge us or anything like that. He doesn't see that we're buying them and then start to charge more for them or anything like that. But we are gonna have to spend quite a bit of money in order to do our tool upgrades. So we'll just buy one of each for now. If you're not able to afford them both, I would prioritize the orichalcum. Buy that first. Raoul doesn't have onions for me, so I'm just gonna ignore him completely. You can see that Felix now has a brush available for us to buy. Pretty expensive brush, if I do say so myself. And I definitely meant to buy this, but I've already played ahead of time, of course, and I forgot. So I won't be buying this now, but I will be buying it at a future bazaar. I definitely recommend buying this because as soon as we buy the brush, we can get access to things like the stethoscope and the bell. So this is another situation where the animal tools are locked behind buying the previous one. So the brush, you have to buy that first before you can get access to the other tools based around your animals. And for me right now, space is still an issue, so I'm actually okay passing this up and coming back for it later because it just means that I have some space and I don't have to worry about keeping one more thing in my inventory. And then because I do still have quite a bit of cash on me, and I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to afford everything that I want, I'm gonna go ahead and buy another chicken. And the reason that I'm buying another chick rather than a full-grown hen is because buying them as a chick allows you to be given free affection, basically. If you buy the animal as a chick or as, you know, a calf or a lamb or whatever, then you get started with 2 hearts of affection, but if you're in a hurry and you buy the adult version of the animal, you start with no hearts at all. And so I think buying them little and just taking your time and letting them grow up is better because you'll get better product faster. Especially chickens, they only take about a week to grow. It might be a different situation for cows and sheep because they do take a lot longer to grow up, but that will just give us some more income from eggs. And I am out of here. We will go and hear our results tomorrow. We nailed it yet again. And I'm going to quickly go home and water those last 4 rows just to make sure that everything has been watered today. And then I am going to do a tool upgrade. So we will go and do the tool upgrades with the ores that we bought from Lloyd. I'll show you those upgrades in action since we should be able to see that by the end of this video, and we will also look at our Bazaar results as well. Alright, perfect. Watering can is empty. Wonderful timing. Everything has been watered once. And it's still early enough in the evening that I'm optimistic that we should be able to get the watering can back pretty quickly so it doesn't compromise our farm work for tomorrow. But you know what I do need is I need 1 piece of material stone and 1 piece of lumber in order to be able to do the upgrades that I want. And of course, lumber and rocks are very, very abundant, so at the very least, it's not like finding one of those is very difficult to do your tool upgrades, fortunately. So if we scroll down, we bought the mithril in order to do our hoe upgrade. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. And fortunately, we can upgrade more than 1 tool at a time, which I think is really cool. And we're able to do our watering can as well using the orichalcum. So normally the max amount of time, depending on your wind speed, will be about 24 hours. But you can see that I will be able to get my tools back in about 15 hours, which really isn't too bad because that would bring us to about noon tomorrow. Still gives us lots of time to water. But I think we can get this windmill spinning a little bit faster. So we're going to come out here and spin the blades a little bit. And that will definitely cut down on the time even further from 15 hours to 11 hours. So we are going to let those sit. And we will come back after our Bazaar results. So let's hop into bed. And see what happens tomorrow. First things first, of course, Enrique is going to come and deliver our animal to us. Now, fortunately, Enrique remembers that he already gave us the tutorial for taking care of animals. So he's nice enough to just kind of drop the animal off and leave us to figure things out after that. And now we have to go and hear our Bazaar results. I think it's definitely going to be worth going. I see a prize in our future because the third place earner had 33,500 and we had more than double that. So Joan got second off of just food, which is pretty impressive. But we're more impressive with our first place of 75,000. I think that's actually the most that we've ever sold. I think that's our best day yet. So that's absolutely incredible. And then, of course, we also had the happiest customers. Now, what does Felix have for me? Ooh, a good mayonnaise. Okay, I'll take it. That's kind of a decent prize. I can just sell it, but it's not bad. And apparently we're making progress towards our next goal, which is absolutely fantastic. We might be able to reach our next goal come fall, which would be great. Alright, so we do have to wait a little teensy bit in order to get our tools back. We still have a couple of hours. So normally, of course, I would do all the farm care. I'd let the animals out. And without being able to water anything, it's probably a good idea to go and do the foraging and whatnot right now. This would be a fantastic time to go and pick up anything around the town, catch bugs. And I just cannot wait for our upgrade because I'm telling you, if you've never played this before, it's your first time playing, getting the upgrade just saves an immense amount of time. Just killing time, organizing my inventory as well, since I don't have a lot of inventory space. There's a lot of weeds around. There was a lot of weeds yesterday, too. A lot of branches and rocks and stuff, which I don't necessarily mind, but it is nice to get other things that I can give as gifts and stuff, you know? Flowers and seasonal stuff. But as I've found out from manipulating save states, which is the only way that I've found to manipulate the weather, by the way, it also changes what random items you can get off the ground, because I've definitely gotten a change in items if I've gone to bed before midnight, reloaded a save state, and then played the day using a different weather condition. It also changes the random items that you get per day. I don't really care too much. I just kind of roll with what the game gives me, but that is definitely something I've noticed. And I'm just waiting for that big pop-up on the screen to let us know that our item is ready. We've got about an hour left. Now I am thinking I can probably spin the blades a little bit here, and that will finish up the items for us nice and quick. because we are once again going to have a bit of a longer video here. We got about 20 minutes left on the clock of in-game time. At least we're getting fairly good quality branches and lumber and whatnot. So our hoe is ready to go. And our watering can, yes, okay. So, all the upgrade did was bring these tools from a half a star to a full star. And we can upgrade all of our tools up to 5 stars. And you can imagine how expensive and how long that takes. The good news is, all that really holds us back is money. And so you can get your upgrades fairly quickly if you have the money to continuously buy orichalcum and mithril. And there's no time limit or any other restriction. We don't have to mine and go to different levels of the mine to get different ore, for example, which is kind of nice. But it is kind of a long road to get those 2 tools completely upgraded. The other good thing, I guess, is that those are really the only 2 tools that we have to worry about upgrading. The axe and the hammer don't have levels of upgrading. I think the only other tool that does is your fishing rod. Alright, so all we've done is increase our watering can and our hoe from 1 square to 2 squares, but I'm telling you, it is going to make a world of a difference. It's going to save a lot of time. And I also tend to think that it holds a little bit more water than before. You seem to have to refill your watering can a little bit less than you did when it was just 1 square at a time. But this is just so nice. You're still going to spend quite a bit of time watering, but not nearly as much. The other kind of neat party trick that you can do if you want is if you jump and you water, you'll water an extra square. But be really careful when you're doing that, especially if you're in a field like I am now, because you can step on your crops if you're not standing right in the middle. And you can also see that doing this drains additional stamina if you're jumping and trying to get that 3rd square. So just be mindful of that. If you can sacrifice the stamina and water 3 squares at a time, that will be even faster. It just feels so good to have this upgrade though. So you can see there I stepped on my crop, and that's kind of what I was talking about. You just have to be really, really careful. And then my stamina has drained really, really far down now by jumping up and watering 3 squares at a time. Just gonna refill my stamina real quick here and do that final little bit of my field. So I'm not gonna focus too much on further upgrades for a little while. And I'm gonna use the money I have in my wallet now for more seeds. And I will still have quite a bit of money left over going into our last bazaar of summer. So I'm just kind of gonna be winding down and making that last push for profits for the end of summer. Alright, hopefully you were all able to stay awake and stay present for all of the stuff that I covered in today's video. I know it was a lot, but I'm just so excited to finally have some tool upgrades, and it's just going to help my workload immensely, and I'm going to have so much more time to get out there and do things, so I'm really, really excited for that. hopefully we will be ending the season on a positive note. I'm just gonna keep on going, and I will most likely be back sooner than later if there's anything that pops up before our final bazaar of the season. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.